Okay, I don't care if I explain this perfectly or not. This video needs to be made and you need to pay attention. In this book called Psycho-Cybernetics by Dr. Maxwell, this is not a TikTok shop ad and I don't have a link for this book anywhere. He talks about how an unhappy personality can't just like willpower their way into a new identity. You can't just do it by sheer discipline, sheer willpower. You have to actually create a new identity rooted in truth. Your mind is a very imaginative mechanism, but it does need some sort of micro truth. It doesn't need to be like this undeniable stack of evidence necessarily, not right from the bat. But if you've been living your entire life thinking, I'm unworthy of love, or I'm unworthy of wealth, or I'm unlovable, it's time to start collecting micro data to stack in your mind as proof as your new self-image starts to get written. Because the truth is, your old self-image is essentially old software. So you can't accomplish things that are in misalignment with your self-image. So if you think you're unlovable, you're probably never gonna find a really healthy relationship because subconsciously, your mind is doing the tiniest things in the way that you talk, the way that you carry yourself, the way that you dress, the way that you perceive other people's mistakes, how you forgive the people around you and all that. So it's like, you can't just accomplish things if they misalign with your self-image. So you need to create a new one, but you can't create a new one just out of willpower. You need to collect micro pieces of data. So right now, this is why I always say, every time you interact with anyone or anything that violates your self-image, that's a good thing if you're not proud of your self-image. So if you think that everything makes you anxious, and then at work today, you had a meeting and it actually went well, write it down. Write down the fact that your mind got it wrong. Write down the fact that your mind has been operating on old software. Start collecting those tiny, minuscule pieces of evidence, because that's exactly what's going to teach your mind to be like, you know what? Like, maybe I actually do know how to run a meeting. Maybe I actually do have a couple of relationships in my life where the people love me for who I am, not for what I provide. Once you create and stack all these tiny pieces of evidence, that's when you can create an entirely new self-image, and that's when you start accomplishing things in life. And then it feels like when it rains, it pours. The second you have a new self-image, everything starts to serve that self-image. Relationships start flourishing, you start making more money, you start feeling more confident in the way that you dress, more confident in the way that you talk. Trust me, collect the tiniest pieces of truth because you need them as a foundation to create a new self-image. You can't just make one out of nowhere.